Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back from my long hiatus. So I got sick. I caught coronavirus. So I'm making this video to just talk about what happened because I've gotten so many questions, and I also want to thank everybody who actually checked on me, because I know that when I first got sick I didn't know if it was COVID or not, so I just kind of put it out there that I wasn't feeling well, and like hardly anybody even like said anything. But as soon as I said that I had coronavirus, and everybody was hitting me up and blowing me up, but I still appreciate everybody who checked on me and then still continued to check on me to make sure that I was feeling okay. But I wanted to make this video because, you know, a lot of people had questions about, you know, how did I catch it, and, you know, how did it make me feel, and, you know, how the whole, like, how it went, basically. So, making this video, I have my notes so I can, you know, kind of keep my thoughts a little organized, but I may ramble, so I apologize for that. So, okay, we're gonna start from the very beginning, right? So it was both me and my mom. So I'm living at home with my mom. She is a nurse, but she works at like a mental hospital. She doesn't work at like a hospital, but she's still a nurse at this hospital. And this mental hospital is like down the street from the actual hospital, so they have people who come in, you know, and out, stuff like that, right? So this started the week of my mom's birthday. So my mom's birthday is the 28th of May, right? So she took that whole week off. She wasn't even at work. Wait, was it the whole week or was it that day? I'm sorry, it was that day. But I think throughout that week, she had only been to work like once that week, I believe. And that day that she had went to work, she said that there was someone that came from the main hospital to her building, and come to find out that person had tested positive, but she didn't think anything of it. She wasn't sick. She wasn't experiencing any symptoms or anything like that. So, you know, it was her birthday. She, you know, chilled or whatever. The day after her birthday, so May 29th, the day after her birthday, my mom went and she was washing her car, and she noticed that she was feeling very like achy when she was washing her car. She just figured that it was from washing the car. So again, didn't think anything of it. She, you know, she still felt fine. And then I guess towards like nighttime, she was getting even more like, she was having more aches and pains and stuff like that. And then by the next morning, she was like sick, right? And she was like, yeah, like don't get near me, like I don't know what this is. We still didn't know whether or not it was COVID, right? So we attempted to social distance in the house. My mom stayed in her room. She kept her door shut. I stayed downstairs, she stayed upstairs throughout the day, like, because our rooms are both upstairs, like beside each other. So throughout the day I stayed downstairs, she stayed upstairs, and I would just, you know, bring her whatever she would need. So if she needed like some water, I would get like a cup of ice water, I would put it by her door, walk away, she would come and get it. Whenever she opened the door, she would like disinfect like the air, basically. She kept a mask on around the house, and we just stayed away from each other, right? So then comes Monday, so June 1st, or actually, so the night before June 1st, I started to get like a slight cough, right? I had a slight cough, and I was like, oh no. And literally, so I had this slight cough, right? And then the next morning I was like, okay, like maybe it's nothing. But when I woke up the next morning, the cough was still there, and at this point, I was starting to get a little worried because hers started off kind of like as a cough and stuff like that. And when I was younger, I used to get sick a lot. Like, I got sick a lot. And whenever me and my mom would get sick, it would take us a minute to catch what the other person had. So the fact that this was in a 3-day span and I was already experiencing symptoms that she had, I was like, yeah, this is probably COVID. Like, I already had it in my mind that it was COVID. So that same day, my mom went to go take a test. She went to go take a COVID test. And I was telling her, I'm like, hey, like, you know, I have a little cough, but I'm good though. I'm good. I'm fine. Like, everything's cool, right? And that's, I don't know if you guys saw my Snapchat video, and I also put it on Instagram. That was a video that I made with a little dog filter saying how I was sick and my mom went to go get tested for COVID. And yeah, I was surprised, like, again, no one really, like, there was like 2 people who had reached out and was like, I hope it comes back negative, but everybody else just kind of ignored it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So when my mom came back from getting tested, I started having a headache and I started having aches and pains, and I was like, oh yeah, this is this is COVID. So yeah, so I started that day okay. But then as time went on, it like got progressively worse. So I was getting the aches, I was getting the headache, and my mom was like, are you sure you don't want to go downstairs and rest? And I was like, no, I'm fine. Because I really felt like I was fine. Like, I thought I was okay. And then it got closer to nighttime. Like, it was like 8, 9 o'clock. And the aches got worse. So now my legs were just hurting so bad. I didn't want to like stand up for too long. Like, I wanted to keep laying down and sitting down. So then I went in, took a shower, and, you know, even in the shower, like, my whole body just started to ache, and I was like, oh my gosh. Whew. And then when it was time to go to sleep, oh my gosh. When it was time to go to bed, that's when my body was in so much pain. Like, I couldn't even, because I like to sleep on my side, I couldn't even turn over without being in excruciating pain. Like, I was just like, oh my god, like, my whole body just hurt. And, you know, I had the cough or whatever, but the cough, I think at this point the cough kind of went away. But yeah, so at this point, mind you, this all happened in one day. June 1st, this happened in one day. And so I woke up the next day still having, you know, how did I forget this? Hold on. So it wasn't even just aches and pains. So after I got out the shower, like I said, the pain got worse, but then I also had the sweats and the chills at the same time. So 1 minute I was super duper cold and I was in my blanket and I was trying to warm up, and then next thing you know, I'm just dripping sweat, and it was back to back. Like, 1 minute I'm cold, the next minute I'm sweating. Y'all, this stuff is just no freaking joke. And so, okay, and so yeah, so the next day and like the following days, like throughout that week, it was the same thing. It was aches and pains, sweats, and chills. And I had a fever. My fever was like 103, 104, and it stayed like that for a while. And, you know, and it was crazy because it seemed like when I was going downhill, my mom was getting better, and then by the end of the week it flipped. Like, I started to recover and she started to go downhill. Now, I don't remember the exact timeline of like the rest of what happened, but I'm just gonna explain it in the order in which it happened. So so the ache started to go away. And then the sweats and stuff. I was still having the sweats. I wasn't having the chills, but I was very, very hot. And so we had people who had offered to like buy us stuff like from the store. So we had people who brought over like popsicles and stuff like that. So the popsicles really helped me like cool down my body. And so what was the next thing? Oh, loss of taste. So I experienced loss of, oh, before that, actually, I keep forgetting because there's so much stuff. So before that, I had like really bad stomach pain. For some reason, my stomach had a hard time digesting anything. So like everything I ate just wouldn't digest properly, and my stomach was hurting. Like everything that I was putting in my body like made my stomach hurt. And the only thing I was able to stomach for some reason was crackers and macaroni and cheese. That's it. Everything else made my stomach hurt. I couldn't even eat bread. I tried to eat like a slice of bread because I'm like, this isn't gonna affect me, and it did. So I went about 2 days without really being able to eat much, and I was hungry. Like for some reason, even though I could halfway taste anything, I was still like hungry. I still had an appetite, but I couldn't eat anything. So it was like the worst experience. But my mom, on the other hand, she didn't have an appetite. So my mom didn't eat much while she was sick, and it sucked because I could tell that she was losing weight like fast. Like she was losing a lot of weight, and she was looking really like frail. And so, you know, I was just worried, and I'm like, you need to eat something. Like, you have to eat something, but she just couldn't. And so my stomach eventually got better, but then the loss of taste got worse. So now at this point, I can't taste anything. I cannot taste a single thing, but I'm still eating because I'm still getting hungry. So at this point, I'm just eating stuff to fill me up. Oh, and another symptom that I had, me and my mom both had, was our equilibrium was off. So like I kept spilling stuff, I kept knocking stuff over, I wasn't really walking straight either. It was a hot mess. And okay, so towards the end, right? So at this point, I feel like I'm getting better, but I can't tell, because instead of just feeling better, I'm just dealing with a different symptom. And at this point, we were hitting the 2-week mark, or I was hitting like the 1.5 week mark, and my mom was hitting the 2-week mark, and neither one of us was 100%. So, you know, for those of you who have been quarantining and stuff for 2 weeks, I know like you're trying to get back out and stuff, but I would recommend quarantining for more than 2 weeks, because it took us more than 2 weeks to recover. So yeah, what was I gonna say? So I had the loss of taste and stuff like that. Oh, my breathing. So we both had trouble breathing. My mom, yeah, she had trouble breathing too. I think I experienced it before she did, or I don't know how that worked. But so like I could breathe. Like I didn't have any issues. Like I could breathe fine. So like I didn't need to go to the hospital, because it wasn't like it would have been different if I literally felt like I could not breathe, but I could breathe. It was just a little bit difficult because because I kept like coughing when I was trying to breathe. So like every time I would try to take a deep breath in, I would cough. And it sucked because I couldn't just like breathe. Like I had to take like little shallow breaths, because every time I tried to like inhale and exhale, I would just start coughing. And if I tried to exert any type of like if I tried to do anything that required a lot of energy, I would I felt like I was getting the wind knocked out of me a lot, and I couldn't really do much. And so my mom was dealing with the same thing. It's like she kept coughing. Every time she tried to talk, she would cough. And it just was, oh my God. It was horrible. Like, this is the sickest we've ever been. Like, me and my mom both. Like, we have never been this sick. And I haven't even looked at my notes. I'm just talking. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, God. Okay, so one question that almost everybody asked me was, how did we catch it? So I think I talked about that in the beginning. My mom believes that she got it from work because, oh, and I don't want to spill her tea, but yeah, I'm not, but it came from her work, because that was kind of confirmed like after the fact. But as far as me, because people kept asking me like, where have you been? Like, nowhere. Like, and people know I don't play around with stuff like this. Like, I have been in this house since March. I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been to the grocery store. I haven't been to like any store. I have not been anywhere. The only place I've been was to my grandma's house once, and that was like 2 months ago, like in April, I think. I have not been anywhere. I stayed here. So, like, you know, like, because I caught it from my mom. My mom caught it from work, and there's nothing that you can really do about that. Like, we couldn't help that. So that's just, you know. But I say that to say that I just ask everybody to please just be safe. I know everyone's eager to go back out, but just understand that this COVID stuff is real. Like, it's not fake. It's not a hoax. It's not to scare you. Like, it's real. And just because someone like me, just because, like, you know that you can recover from it, you don't want to pass it on to someone that can't recover from it. Because my mom was in super bad shape. Like, I've never seen her that, like, defeated. She couldn't do anything. Like, and it took her so long to bounce back, and I just hated seeing her like that. And seeing my mom like that really, like, gets me. Like, when I see people out here, like, at the beach and having these little, like, gatherings and parties with no protection, there's not a single glove or mask in sight, I'm like, y'all cannot be this slow. Like, I'm sorry, there's no excuse. Like, we're in a pandemic. This is real. Look at the numbers. Like, all the other countries, like Italy, China, like, their numbers are super low. Like, they're getting to that place where it's starting to go away. America is in like the thousands, like, at this point, like the hundreds of thousands of people who have it, who passed away from it. Like, and it's because we don't know how to not be selfish for once. And it angers me when I go on the internet and see people just not taking COVID seriously because of, you know, like, it seems like people don't take it seriously until it affects them personally. And I think that that's really sad. And I've taken it seriously from the beginning, and I'm going to continue to stay in this house making videos and not going anywhere because it's just not worth it. And I'm a little nervous about, you know, the fall and what that's going to bring, because they're talking about a second wave. They're saying the second wave is going to be worse, and I still don't know what's going on with, like, college and how that's going to play out. Like, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot, and it was bad. Like, and the fact that I caught COVID when June started, right, and summer classes started on June 1st, so I had to deal with starting summer classes that I've never done summer classes before either. So doing that while dealing with COVID was it was a hot mess. And and another thing too, because people keep saying, like, oh, COVID is like the flu. COVID is nothing like the flu. I've had the flu twice back to back before. Like, I caught it one year in December, and then the next year I caught it in, like, January, like, back to back. COVID is nothing like the flu. Like, I see why it takes people out, because it's just, Like, it literally will put you on bed rest. Like, it's bad. Like, you feel like you just feel defeated. And you know, and I've also heard too that COVID attacks your lungs. I believe that because I felt like my lungs were being attacked when I had COVID. Like, and it took me such a long time to recover. So I'm hoping that my antibodies will protect me, you know, if God forbid I come across it again, or I come into close proximity with someone that has it as well. And my mom just went back to work yesterday since being sick. She hasn't been to work in a month because of COVID, and she got it at work. So you know how I feel. Like, I'm a little bit scared that I don't know. It's just you don't know. Nobody knows about this virus. Like, it's such an unknown thing at this point that all we can do is talk about our experience and talk about, you know, how we dealt with it. So this video is going on a long time. I don't even know if you guys are gonna watch this whole thing, but I'm gonna end it with how or what I did basically to kind of combat the virus. So like I said, I think the biggest thing was that I continued to eat. I don't know what everyone else's appetite is gonna be like. I know some people have experienced nausea during COVID, and that wasn't my experience. So, but if you can, try to keep yourself built up. Continue to like eat and stuff. Also take lots of medication for the fever. So I took Tylenol a lot to get my fever down. So I did that. My mom made us chicken or something. It was like chicken soup or something. I don't know, but it had turmeric in it. So turmeric is a good ingredient to use when you're trying to get over being sick. Like I said, popsicles for the fever and stuff like that. But and lots of water. Lots of water. I have really bad allergies too, so I took like Mucinex, because that's enough. I can't believe I forgot that too. I had mucus as well, and at one point I kept coughing up bloody mucus. So that's how I kind of knew that it was like a lung thing, because I was having a hard time breathing. I kept coughing, and I was coughing up blood basically. So like I said, man, just stay safe, because you don't want this. Even if you think you can beat it or whatever, just for the safety of you and the people that you love around you, just be safe. And if you can, just stay home. I don't think I get going stir crazy, and I get like there are certain things that you can do, but all this going to the beach and the pool and going places without protecting yourself, it's just very selfish. And I just ask everyone, please, to just not only think about yourself, think about the other people around you. And so yeah, I think I have said everything that I can say about this experience. I hope I answered everybody's questions, and I gave enough explanation as to my experience with COVID-19. And I hope and pray to God that I don't ever get this again, or if I do, that I know how to better deal with it, and maybe it won't affect me as bad since I've had it the first time. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and comment down below your guys' thoughts on anything I've just said. And please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.